Let's begin with a few questions. Not a test, just an honest check-in on how our minds are working today.
Think about it. How many phone numbers do you actually know by heart? Not the ones in your contacts list, the ones burned into your memory.
And be honest with yourself. Could you sit in a room, just you and your thoughts, for 20 minutes? No scrolling, no notifications? How does that idea feel? When was the last time you wrestled with a problem? I mean, really wrestled, using only what was already in your head before that impulse to just search for it took over?
These questions, they're not random. They all point to a massive shift in the way we think. And to understand it, we need to talk about something called cognitive offloading.
Now, cognitive offloading isn't some scary new concept. Humans have always used tools to help their minds. A simple shopping list is a form of cognitive offloading. But what's new is the sheer scale of it and the speed. It's instant and it's everywhere.
Our devices, our phones, they're not just tools anymore, are they? They've become external hard drives for our brains. We're effectively outsourcing the very fundamental task of remembering. And this is the trade-off. It's the deal we've made. In exchange for this incredible convenience, this speed, we risk skipping the harder, slower path, the path of deep thinking, which is where real understanding is actually forged.
But before we declare this some kind of modern crisis, it's really important to pull the camera back, to put this feeling into historical context. Because this fear, well, it's actually ancient.
If you go back to ancient Greece, you'll find Socrates worried that writing would destroy our ability to memorize. In the 1970s, educators were convinced the calculator would ruin our basic math skills. And today, the fear is that the internet is destroying deep thought. You see the pattern. Every revolutionary new tool is first met with this fear that it will make us cognitively weaker.
And this gets to the heart of it. The problem has never been the tool itself, whether that's a stone axe, a printed book, or a supercomputer. The real danger lies in how we relate to it, in our dependence on it.
This brings us to the second part of this story. And this part is perhaps a lot more urgent. We're talking about the modern battle for our own focus. Our digital world is, in many ways, an environment that's engineered for interruption. The endless feeds, the constant dings and notifications, the fire hose of short-form content. It's all designed to pull our attention away from one single point and shatter it into 1,000 tiny pieces.
And here's the thing about your brain. It adapts. It gets better at whatever you ask it to do. So if you constantly ask it to switch contexts, to process shallow, rapid-fire bits of information, it will get very, very good at that. And in turn, it gets worse at deep, sustained concentration. So, if the tech itself isn't the real enemy, and this anxiety has been around for centuries, then what is the actual danger that we're facing right now?
The danger isn't the tool. It's the passive mindset that the tool can encourage. We see an enemy in the search engine or the AI, but the true threat is becoming a person who instinctively avoids the mental struggle of figuring things out for themselves.
What we risk losing is our mental endurance, our ability to tolerate confusion, to be okay with being stuck for a moment. Because that mental friction, that struggle, that's not a sign of failure. That is precisely where learning and growth and real insight actually happen. But this isn't a story of doom. Not at all. It's a call for awareness, a call for discipline, because we have a choice in how this story ends. And the most important shift we can make is this one. To stop thinking of our brain as a hard drive we need to fill and start thinking of it as a muscle that we need to train. And just like any muscle, it doesn't get stronger with ease. It gets stronger with resistance.
The tools we have are incredible. AI can process data in ways we can't even imagine, but it cannot be curious for us. It cannot be creative for us, and it cannot be wise for us. That power remains ours, but only if we choose to cultivate it.
And this is the real takeaway. In a world where answers are cheap and instant, the skill of just finding an answer becomes less valuable. The true advantage, the skill that will define the future, is the ability to think deeply, critically, and creatively about those answers. The choice, ultimately, is ours. Will you be a passive consumer of answers or an active architect of understanding? Think deeply, stay sharp,